with a low-budget film that I could star in and produce, bring on a director and release the film. But when I traveled to LA, I was shocked and surprised by the type of response that I got from the movie studios that I met with there. And basically, when you start up a production company, the first thing you do to kind of seal the deal with collaboration is to travel to LA and meet the executives of these companies and basically share your vision. One of these companies was Legendary Pictures. They've been behind the Christopher Nolan Batman films, 300 that starred Gerard Butler, and they've done some really, really great stuff. And I met with Mary Parent and Kel Boyta, and they asked me if I had heard about the first Pacific Rim, which starred Idris Elba, and I said, of course, I've heard of the movie, and then told me their plans to make a second one. And then Mary dropped it to me saying that, I know you founded your company, we like your point of view, creatively I feel like we can collaborate together. Our budget is $150 million. Would you like to come in, star, co-produce with Universal and ourselves? And you know, I said yes. You know, the Yoruba in me could not say no. So I found it to be a great opportunity. And then we went off to Australia. We collaborated with Wonder Studios in China, and made a movie that has seen great numbers internationally. And so that's how it all came together. I mean, my mum and dad, their prayers were always epic, but I don't know if they ever figured out that their prayers would be answered in this way. There's something about praying about something, and then there's another thing about getting it. But I think they're of course very, very happy and appreciative of everything that's happening and going on. You know, I've done what every Nigerian son should do: your first fruits, you know, and then, you know, set up your parents, so they're happy with that. But I think fundamentally they're happy about purpose. Purpose is very, very important. You can be at any level. If there's no purpose, then, you know, it doesn't really matter. But I'm happy that they're proud and, you know, they're at home back and forth and enjoying life. Well, the funny thing is, what a lot of people don't know about me is that my curiosity about Nigeria in general goes way back. The first time we came here, I came here at 11 years old, and met with a family. We stayed in Ibadan, and we were there for a good while. I had not been exposed to Lagos or the culture in Lagos, the music, the buzz. I didn't know anything about it. So my experience of Nigeria has been very, very ground level. And then when my granddad died, we went out to the village, which is just past Abeokuta, to go and bury him. And so my experience of it has been very much ground level through the perspective of my parents. And so the dream to impact, you know, really, really started later down the line when I got involved with Mount Zion. These are Christian ministries. I got involved with them in London, and they were once doing a workshop for Faith TV at the time. And at the time, you know, that was my way of pitching to my dad that we can do acting and somehow attach it to the spiritual as well. But I wanted to gain information because I didn't understand the way in which Nollywood worked. And I worked closely with Mike and Gloria Bamiloye when I was a youngster at the time, and done some workshops with them. And a lot of those interactions, you know, inspired me to think I would love to go home and be a part of a project, a homegrown Nigerian story that not only shows the beauty of Nigeria and the side that people don't get to see, but also shows the reality, but in a way that isn't too contradicting, in a way that's natural. And so for me, that impact has always been very, very important. And I just want to be a part of that. You know, I want to collaborate, I want to listen, I want to learn, and I also want to kind of share the knowledge I have, not only with, you know, obviously our powerful dudes over here, but also with the people on ground, the actors, you know, the cinematographers, the writers, you know, to create systems and share the knowledge that I have gained working with, you know, the best, and bringing it home. And I think that there's a way that we can benefit. Entertainment is influence. And that's the biggest, most major thing. Entertainment is influence. And I think there's a way that Nigeria can show its face to the world, and despite our problems, still be proud of what we are able to achieve. But then it also gives us a view and a pathway to achieve more and go for more. The more success we feel, the more motivated we are, the more it inspires us to do more. And I want to be a part of that.
Yes, sorry, my final question is, we've seen a lot of people coming to Nigeria, to Lagos, to get a feel of how our music, our entertainment, and our culture and tradition. And to you, what does our culture and tradition portray? And then what kind of story are you actually looking at? Are you coming back to Nigeria? What to give back to the society?
Well, for me, fundamentally, like story-wise, I can't tell you. I mean, that's another thing about the Hollywood system. We keep our stories until we are ready to release. So that's one thing I will follow. But just in terms of the culture, for me, is not only the blueprint for who I was raised by two Nigerian people, and being raised in the UK. There's a point in your life that you are a Londoner. You do identify as British. But then you go to school and your friends view your parents differently. You now start to think, I originate from somewhere different. I'm here, I'm raised in London, but I don't necessarily belong here. You know, I am still seen as somewhat of an alien. My mum has tribal marks. So when I took her to my first parents' evening, the kids were like, what happened to your mum? And I didn't ever see her like that because I was raised with a mother that had tribal marks. I didn't see the problem. But when those reactions happen, you start to ask yourself, okay, what is my identity? And a lot of that is happening with the African-American community, with those of us in the UK. We are starting to come back to the UK to not only reclaim our name, but also to reclaim our identity. And that's what African and Nigerian culture means to me. It's a part of my moral compass also. You know, I base a lot of decisions that I make off of what my father told me and what he's taught me about his experiences both here and in the UK. So there's a number of things, but that's one of the major things about the culture that, you know, I identify with the most.
Sorry, you've been collaborating with us for like so much effort. You've been to do a lot of things with Lagos State. So what is your view of Lagos? Is Lagos, I don't think it's big.
Oh yeah.
Lagos is in a world of its own.
Mm-hmm.
So now how do you intend to collaborate with Lagos
Mm-hmm.
to portray Lagos for what Lagos is and what Lagos was?
It's our stories, our stories. The fundamental thing you don't realize is that so much history has passed through this state. So many people have come down with the same curiosity. They've gone to Fela's shrine to want to hear the music. You know, they've come down with intention of experiencing this culture. And now it's our chance to go, okay, there's an enthusiasm, there's a curiosity about us. Now we can go to them. And because I'm an actor, because I work in entertainment, that is my medium, that is my pathway of doing that. So these stories showing the several different perspectives, the characters we have here, the colors, and the fact that Lagos is a hub of diversity in Africa, which is a concept on the international scale that they still don't understand. You know, sometimes you can see black people in general and think that they're all one thing, whereas in Lagos there's languages that I've never heard of. You know, for me that you hear, and for me it's about capturing that and representing ourselves for what it is. And I intend to do that through the medium of entertainment. Thank you, love.
You don't be from QET, like, unlike Pacific Ring, over with the budget of over 150 million, say. In terms of figures, the story you want to tell, like, what's your project plan?
Well, the way development works is this. You develop various different stories that could possibly go to a studio either in the States or somewhere in the UK. And those figures will be dependent on many, many things, how many people you're hiring, what the story is, and scale. So you can't come and I can't come and say, well, this is the story, it's going to be this amount. But I can tell you the general figures for an indie, when you're looking at in Hollywood, and something of quality that will have major distribution, you're looking at 20 to 25, $1 million. And that's the kind of budget you're looking to pull for something of quality and something that could draw in the right kind of audience. But also at the same time, you never know, that varies in price. You could go lower and you can find that you can collaborate with directors and producers who are passionate as Lagos State as much as I am, who are willing to take cuts and who are willing to take a risk. So that's something that I'm looking forward to. But the first stage of that is the knowledge. To understand the infrastructure, to understand the system. I'm continuously being schooled, and that's something that I will continue to do until we officially know what's on ground. Thank you.